Hey friends, my name is Bond, this is Oleg, and in today's video we're going to do a review of a GMT watch. This is a limited edition Super Seawolf World Time automatic watch from Zodiac Watches. The watch is available in two different color combinations, and both color combinations are limited to 500 pieces each. I should mention before we get started with this review that this watch was provided to us for free and we get to keep it after the review is done. Of course, that's not going to affect the review in any way. Just want to be transparent. On this YouTube channel, I'm not known to go into history of watch brands. I am no urban gentleman, but Zodiac has somewhat of an interesting history. The brand actually started in 1882. It's been going strong until about late 70s. At the end of 70s, the brand went a bit dormant, just like a lot of Swiss brands because of quartz crisis. And at about 2012, it was revived. And now it's part of a Fossil group. It's going strong, and they are re-releasing a lot of their vintage 1970s models with a modern twist. This watch here is one of those re-releases. I received this watch a few days ago, and the unboxing experience was very pleasant. You get a pretty nice packaging with the watch. It comes with a microfiber cloth. It comes with a whole bunch of different reading material, instructions manuals, warranty cards, etc. All of that feels very good. Like the paper is of a good quality. All of it is soft. The box itself is soft. It's not overly large, but it is substantial enough for the price of the watch. So I should mention that this watch costs $17.95 from a Zodiac website directly. Not a bad price for a Swiss-made GMT watch with these type of specs and this type of design. Even though the design of the case is based on vintage Seawolf models, they did upscale it. I believe the vintage models are about 36 millimeters in diameter. This watch is about 40 millimeters in diameter. It has 47 millimeters from one lug to another, and it is a true 47.5 millimeters. There is no first protruding lug. It's a first female link, so that makes the watch wear really nicely, especially if you have a smaller wrist. The lug width is about 20 millimeters, and it's only 13.3 millimeters thick, including that slightly domed sapphire crystal. As I mentioned, the watch wears really well. It's a really comfortable watch. I believe that this one wears like a true 40 millimeter watch. It doesn't wear larger, it doesn't wear smaller. It wears like a 40 millimeter watch should. If you have smaller to medium sized wrists, I think this one is going to fit just great. If you have a bit of a larger wrist, or if you prefer larger watches, I think this watch might not be for you because it does wear like a 40 millimeter compact watch. It weighs exactly 140 grams, sized for my 7.5 inches wrist on the supplied metal bracelet. 140 grams is a great and comfortable weight for a sports timepiece, and this is really a sports timepiece. If you look at the design, of course, it's a GMT watch. The design somewhat appears to be a little busy, especially with that world time bezel. So we do have a bit of a color play. We have that outer white ring with a 24-hour marking. Those are the markings, of course, for the GMT function. We have a red hand for the GMT function. I really like that pop of red color. Speaking of the color, I really love the color of this gray dial. The way it plays with the light and the way it looks is just really cool and really unique, unlike any other watch that I've seen in a while. Kind of reminds me of a Oris that I owned a while back with the gray dial and the green bezel. It's sort of a similar gray, but here the gray is a little bit lighter. There's a date window by the 3 o'clock position, all applied indices with a bit of lume. There's a bit of lume on these hands. I gotta tell you, the lume is not actually that strong. On the hands, the lume is pretty good, but on these indices, it's not strong enough. So if you're looking for a watch with a strong lume, this is not it. I like the stick look, the stick appearance to all of the hands. Very 1960s, 1970s. I do wish that the seconds hand was slightly longer. I think if it reached all the way out to the seconds running track, it would be better. As it is right now, it's not too bad, but it's just a small nitpick. Make that seconds hand slightly longer. Zodiac watches in the last couple of years have released a few of these limited edition GMT models, and I think this one here is the most conservative, even though it is kind of out there with its world time bezel and its two-tone dial with the white and the gray. I think it is still the most tamed out of the bunch. There's also a black dial and a brushed metal bezel version that's kind of tamed, but these are the two tamed versions. Everything else is really out there, really colorful, really bright. You almost have to match your outfit to the watch because it stands out so much. This one here, it kind of blends in. Whatever you wear, it will work with that outfit. I should mention that this watch also comes with the red bezel, and that one, oh boy, that one stands out. So I am not a very loud guy. I usually wear a black or white t-shirt, so having a watch like this works better for me versus having something more loud and more kind of attention grabbing. So it's really up to you which one you prefer. Do you prefer a watch that kind of grabs everyone's attention, or do you prefer a watch that flies under the radar? Excuse the pun. The case is made out of 316L stainless steel. The finishing is good. It's all brushed finish except for a few chamfered edges. As I mentioned, the case shape, the case design is very 1970s because of course it sort of is a copy of those vintage models. It's all executed really well. I have no complaints about it. The crown is at the 3 o'clock position. Now this crown is slightly undersized, and the shape of the crown and also the way the bezel kind of sticks out past the case makes operation of the crown slightly more difficult. It's not too bad. I'm being a little nitpicky here, but something you should expect, that operating this crown is not as easy as it could be. It's not as easy as it would be if the crown was larger. But I understand why they went with a smaller crown to be more historically accurate. The crown is signed with the Zodiac logo. We also have a nice domed sapphire crystal, plenty of AR coating here, absolutely no problems with reflections with this watch. I really enjoyed my time taking videos and photos of this timepiece. I think the most visually unique parts of this watch is of course this World Time GMT bezel. It's a 24-click bi-directional bezel with what I think is a ceramic bezel insert. I couldn't find that information anywhere online, but I believe it is actually a ceramic bezel insert. With the GMT hand and the 24-hour markings on the dial, plus this World Time bezel, you can track so many different time zones because you can have your home time zone, of course, then you have your GMT time zone with the red hand, and then you can also have an active time zone by using a World Time bezel. I'm not going to go into detail how the World Time bezel works. There are plenty of great articles and videos online explaining it much better than I could. The last couple of things I want to talk about in the watch is the movement and the bracelet. So first, the movement. This one is powered by the automatic Saprot caliber C125 movement. It has 25 joules, beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour, has 42 hours of power reserve, and it is sort of a similar movement to the ETA 2893-2. It is not an ETA movement, but it is similar. It's actually my first time reviewing a watch with this movement on the channel. So far it's been really accurate. I'm getting within 2 seconds per day. No complaints about the movement whatsoever. Last thing I want to talk about is this bracelet. So the watch does come with a stainless steel bracelet. The bracelet integration is really nice, and the bracelet overall is very nice. It fits the overall aesthetic of the watch. It kind of tapers closer to the clasp. Now the clasp has this fold over mechanism done in high polish to contrast the brushed finish on the rest of the clasp. It is signed with the Zodiac logo. You open it up like so, and then you see a hole. First time I see that, kind of unique, kind of quirky. It's a scissor clasp with 4 micro adjustments. It's a pin and a collar system on these links, so you don't expect screw in place links here. But what I really like is the quick release on the bracelet. I paired this watch with a cheap sort of a suede bluish grayish strap, and it works really well. Changing the bracelet for the strap was super easy. You just pinch here like so, take off the bracelet, then the strap itself had quick release, so that was super easy. No need to worry about the tools, no need to worry about damaging the watch case, especially if you're not too experienced with exchanging straps for the bracelet. And I gotta tell you, this watch works really well on the bracelet, but I think it works even better on a leather strap. Putting it on a leather strap completely changed the look of the watch. I quite like it. I'm usually a bracelet guy, but here I think it works really well with the leather. In fact, I think Zodiac would do really well if they also included a nice leather strap with this timepiece. I know you're still getting a pretty good value as is, but with a nice leather strap, I think it would just take it over the top. As far as the negatives for the watch go, I really have just two. The first one I already mentioned, the fact that the lume is not as strong as it could be. The second negative is this bezel. The bezel action itself is pretty satisfying, but turning this bezel is challenging. There's not enough grip and it has quite a bit of resistance. Maybe over time it sort of will wear in, but as it is right now, it's a bit tough to turn, so I wish this bezel action overall would be improved. So that's it, that's the review. I appreciate you watching it until the end. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the YouTube channel, we release new videos every week. And leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this Zodiac Super Seawolf limited edition GMT. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you looking to pick one up? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I always enjoy reading them. By the way, today on my wrist, I'm wearing Omega Speedmaster Professional, the Moonwatch. I recently did a video titled 10 Surprising Things About Omega Speedmaster. I will leave a link to that video in the description below. Check it out if you're curious. Also in the description below, there are a couple of other links. There is a secret link and there is a link to BondNativeStraps.com. Thanks for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Was a good boy. Oh my goodness, people are gonna be so happy to see you. Come on. What were you up to? You were just napping by the fireplace? You're just napping. I think you like the colder weather. Not too cold, but also not hot. It's just perfect for the dog. At least it's not raining, right? Okay, let's film this video and then we'll go to the park and play with the stick.